Go on YouTube. Let's see. YouTube, Facebook. Looks like we are live. I've never been live on YouTube. Actually, I think it was one time a long time ago through the app. But now I'm live through a new tool. So I'm trying to see if it's working. So if we're delayed for a second, I apologize. But I'm supposed to be live on Facebook and YouTube right now. And it looks like I am live on YouTube. But I'm supposed to be live on Facebook and YouTube. Oh, that looks good. Now I got to see Facebook. Let's check out Facebook. You know when you find a new tool and you start playing with it? Well, I found a new tool. There we go. That's pretty cool. So what I found was I got approved recently for LinkedIn Live. I've been applying for it and got accepted there. And so we're starting to use LinkedIn Live a little more. And they gave me a list of these tools that we could use to broadcast on LinkedIn. And I've never used a ton of third party. I've used OBS and some other tools, but I came across this tool that we're using right now that allows me to broadcast simultaneously on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. Right now we're just on YouTube and Facebook because I just got off of LinkedIn. And I thought I shouldn't go live twice in a row. That might be going a little overboard. So here we are, live on Facebook, live on YouTube. Let's talk about the topic in my post here. And that is what I'm seeing that is coming, what I'm seeing with regards to the differences of my clients that are having a little more success than others, and sometimes a lot more success. And what I mean is right now in the restaurant business, it's one of the most challenging times probably in the past 20, 30, 40 years. Restaurants are at a different disadvantage than many other businesses. Now there's a lot of businesses like the gym that I'm a partner in that is closed. So that's a big disadvantage. Restaurants, on the other hand, are allowed to do delivery, allowed to do pickup, but it's changed the model for many of them. And I've been looking at a lot of my restaurant clients and trying to examine what's happening differently among the ones that are seeing, down 10% and the ones down 40%. I've got one client right now who's down 6%. I've got one that's actually, I think she said she was up as of late last week from the prior year. Now, there's differences in their business models that affect that. If you're strictly a dine-in restaurant, you have no way you're not going to be down. If you're a drive-through restaurant, you have a lot of ways that you're going to traditionally have not as many struggles. So a couple of things I've noticed, two major differences, and it's timely because last night's podcast was with on MPTB. If you didn't see it, it's available on Facebook. It's on LinkedIn, on YouTube. I think it might be on LinkedIn as well. And then it's on iTunes. You can get on your phone, listen to the audio, iTunes, Spotify, what is the one? Google Play, and then another one, Stitcher. I've never used Stitcher, but apparently it's there, whatever Stitcher is. So last night's episode, Bob Jacoby, the general manager of Quaker Steak and Lube in Florence, is the epitome of relationship marketing inside a restaurant, meaning he knows his customers know him. And that's the first key component that I've seen as a difference maker in my clients that are having more success than others that are having, limited success, which makes sense because of today's environment. Need some more water. The big thing there is having a deeper connection with your customers. And I'll give you an example. So I think it was like December, my son and myself, Cole, we went to watch a football game at Quaker Steak and Lube. We parked in the vet room at the Florence location. We're sitting there looking at the big screens, and Bob comes over and addresses Cole first by name and says, "Cole, what's up, man? How's football going?" And another thing to back up before we got there, Cole actually pointed out, "Hey, Dad, Bob's here." Now, how does a 15-year-old know the general manager of a restaurant? And how does the general manager of a restaurant know the 15-year-old and know that he plays football at Ryle High School? From having conversations that matter in the restaurant. And so when this all hit, in my mind, it triggered, what restaurants do I have the deepest connection with, and why am I going to support them more? Well, Quaker Steak and Lube was right on top. It was one of the ones I knew we would be using, going to multiple times, because they're going to need it, and I want to support them more. Now, there's other restaurants that this crazy guy with this crazy orange shirt walks in every week or two, and nobody knows me. Nobody knows Cole. Nobody knows Paige. Nobody knows Christy. Those are places we haven't been back to. Why? Because I don't feel a connection that's deep enough. It's a transaction versus a conversation. The other element, which is timely, and this is crazy. I was talking to David, my producer for MPTB, yesterday. Our first 3 episodes, last night's, the guy, Bob, was all about table touches, relationships, and dealing with his customers, and also how they do third-party delivery great. These were recorded 4.5, 5 weeks ago before we knew this was coming. The episode focused on those elements. Next week's episode with Yanni from King Europe in Columbus talks about his food and his passion, his relationship in the community, because he's a very community-oriented guy. But it's also the only episode out of 9 that we shot in a 5-day period that we talked about marketing. Because my goal wasn't for MPTV to be about marketing. I wanted it to be about the restaurants and their stories. But Yanni's story revolves around marketing. He said it, something to the effect of, if you're not asking people to do business with you every day, you're failing. That's your job as a restaurateur. And one thing he talked about was his social media. That's the second key element, is using social media before this hit and now to not only tell a story about your food, but also about your staff, about your community. And Yanni has traditionally done that. And so that's another key element. So the 2 key things I've seen is that relationship in the restaurant and that relationship online. So they say the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is right now. What would I do if I was you in your shoes, Mr. Restaurant Operator? Well, number one, I wouldn't be on Facebook and Instagram every day strictly saying, here's my coupon, here's my offer, here's this. Those are going to work, but they'll work deeper if you go deeper. Why do you want customers to come do business with you? It's different than it was 3 months ago. I'm looking at my board right here. I've got my goals. And my goals are things that if the company helps our clients, then we will succeed and profit and be able to do this stuff. Right now, I'm not worried about profiting. I'm worried about paying my bills the next 2 months. Restaurants, even higher level. They're going, okay, I was doing 20 grand a week the last 3 months. Now I'm doing 5 grand a week. So their why is the employees. It's keeping the lights on, the restaurant running, and surviving this thing. And the why behind that is your team, is your family, is your kids, is your employees' kids. So when you do that pizza special, when you do that family meal deal, don't post a picture of the family meal deal. Post a picture of you and your damn kids with the family meal in front of you and say, hey, from our family to yours, we hope you're enjoying the more quality family time that we're all getting. We would really appreciate it if you came to our restaurant and took this family meal deal home. It'll put smiles on your family's face. It'll help me keep my family and our roof over our heads. Or maybe it's that picture of your employees. Maybe it's the picture of the lady or a video of the lady or gentleman that's walking that curbside order out. And don't just say order food. Say order food so Steve can bring this out. Steve is a local father of 2. He's married. He goes to this church. He plays on this softball team. His kids play sports at this school. Put a story, because your why right now is to survive and to help your employees survive. We're going to get through this, and we're going to get through this stronger. I can promise you that. I went through 2008 with my marketing firm, but also with my brother and my dad in our boat and RV dealership, which crumbled. We were getting out of the business anyways, but the economy crumbled around it. It's tough, but guess what? We all survived. We all came out stronger. That's why this time I'm better equipped emotionally to handle it. And I know a lot of people aren't as equipped as I am because they haven't gone through it. But I can promise you, good times are coming. But if you want to have more good times right now or have less stressful times, you've got to start connecting a story and a deeper why to get customers in your business. That's all I got. My first or second ever YouTube broadcast, my first ever simulcast on YouTube and Facebook. That's all I got. I'll see you later.